Hello YouTube, ZiggyNo back with Sports Cards Daily. Today is November 3rd, and on this day in 1926, legendary player Ty Cobb resigns as Tigers manager to become the first man to hold baseball's four jobs as a player, umpire, scout, and manager. Now I'll be honest, I can understand the player, the scout, and the manager, but when was this dude an umpire? And how did that work out? Just amazing to me, Ty Cobb. Amazing. On to news and chatter. A lot going on in the news today. I'm going to show you a quick preview of Donruss, clearly Donruss, actually some pictures from their blog. Collecting Lanes article I'll share with you. I think that's from Card Ladder. Using Warren Buffett as a guide. Another article from Sports Card Investor. Hard copy World Series tickets and new record for T206 Wagner. Take a look at those as well. Today, lots of content as usual. It seems like people are changing around their calendar, so the only thing I think is scheduled right now is Beckett Live with Steve Grad, but I know there'll be a lot more content, so hang in there. What'd you miss yesterday? The history of baseball cards pre-war. Disappointed with Topps update. Great comments here. I'll share that with you. Rookie year soccer with Trek 415, or Treek 415. Slabstox live. Sports card show preview or review. Minor League Monday from Rydog. How to pick which player to collect. I don't know why the extra O's there, but and found these cards, hidden gem. So a lot of great stuff. Let's jump into it real quickly here. First, I'll start with Panini Blog. Had some of these, the quality control from the clearly Donruss product. You can see the man's fingers behind it. So you can see this clear acetate. This reminds me of Clear Vision. If you guys, if you've been around a while, then Clear Vision was 2016. It was a tank of a product. The product sucked. Now, it was its own product. It wasn't basically recycling Donruss. Now, if you look at this stuff, I'll also point out, guys, Donruss will be available on the Panini site direct, and it's available now, obviously in your stores. But you'll see as these pictures are loading, it's just basically the same cards. Looks like they got some different pictures. Like Ja, that's the first image I've seen Ja holding the ball instead of dribbling all the time. But you got the My House. That's Zion's a new card, looks like. So it looks like a few new things, but that looks like the old Donruss Zion. Takeoff. Defying Gravity. My House. My House. My House. My House. Some autographs. Sticker autographs, too, by the way. But all clear. Clear cards. What are your thoughts, guys? I definitely think these are going to crush old Donruss. Are they better than Optic? Is it you rather have Donruss Optic or you rather have Clear? It'll be interesting to see. Next up. Collecting Lanes and why you should have more than one. Great article here talking about investing or collecting. I shouldn't even say investing. I guess Card Ladder is more collecting, but talks about examples of collecting, different sports, how to collect. And there's another video I have coming up here in a moment to talk about that. Registry collecting, which is another wonderful one I love. PSA Registry Collect, how to collect. Some great tips here. Check it out on Card Ladder's website. After you do that, go ahead and check out Sports Card Investor's website. He has a great article. And again, these articles are written not by Card Ladder or by Sports Card Investor. They provide platforms for others to write these, which I like. Warren Buffett as a guide to sports card investing. Really cool. I've had a lot of people comment on Warren Buffett. I love this. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget. Rule number 1. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to bet if you talk to Warren Buffett about sports cards, he would not touch this with a 1,000-foot pole. I just don't see him anywhere near sports card investing. I'd love to get his opinion. He'd probably, I don't know. I just don't see him doing it. Next up, Sports Collectors Daily had 2 great articles. One on hard copy World Series tickets. They do exist, but they'll be super scarce. So I thought this was interesting just because I didn't even think about this. But, with our digital world today, a lot of tickets are digital. And if you remember, if you're getting tickets in the future, ask for physical ones because they can have some extra value in the aftermarket. So just quick little blob there. Next up, new record price for a poor grade T206 Wagner card. This card sold for $1.4 million on Golden Auction. Golden Auction had another record, I think $16 million in sales. And there you go. You got a 1, which actually looks pretty good for me. I mean, I know it's got a crease and everything, but that's a $1 million card. Wow. It reminds me back when Baseball Card Collector Investor Dealer did a video on the Horace Wagner talking about the rise of this card. Just some really interesting stuff, keeping an eye on that card. Let's get into the content now. So first, mentioning Baseball Card Collector Investor Dealer. If you haven't, please check out his page. Again, he's blowing up. I love to see this. When this guy's at 50,000 subscribers, I feel like the world's in check. But he's got a long way to go because he's just preaching some great information here. Great video on history of baseball cards. He did chapter 1 today. Recommend checking that out. This is an update. He's got chapter 2, 3, and 4 coming in the future weeks. Again, just good content, solid history lesson. I just big fan. You know that. I talk about him all the time. Next up, breaking down the disappointment with Topps Update. Now, I mentioned Topps Update yesterday, and I shared another contributor, I think it was Cardaholic or Collectorholic, who broke down what's in the product. I really liked Filmington because he kind of gave his opinion of why he's not bullish on the product. Gave some comments on the prospect cards they're having in there, some of the rookies that are and are not in there. Just a really good breakdown on Topps Update. So I do recommend checking it out. Even mentioned Chrome Update, which will come out in probably retail stores. So you're going to have a lot of retail product hitting the shelves here in the next few weeks. So it'll be interesting to see how that all rolls out. Next up, Rookie Year Soccer, new collaborator. I've followed a few times. I think he's been on the, I've been some of my daily updates on him, but he had Trek 415, another great sports card content provider. Really enjoyed this because these guys are talking soccer. Again, if you're into soccer, do recommend checking out both their channels and listening. Even Card Hour, makes some good comments here. Another great channel, Card Hour, Rookie Year Soccer, and Trek 415. Slabstox. Big fan of Slabstox. These guys did a live yesterday where they did a question and answer. Really big fan of this. They took some of my questions, which I love. Just so you know, if you want to submit questions, you can go on to this site, hit the link below, and there is I believe there's a link. Here it is. Submit your questions for next week right here, and then next week they'll follow up on these. So they're not answering the questions live in chat. They're responding live, but they're taking the questions before, and they do a very good job. Again, I love the Slabstox information. Next up, Card Show Vlog. This is again Sasha T. He did one of these earlier on in the week, which I really enjoyed. What I really like about Sasha T is just the dude is out. He's good. And what I mean by that, he's hits the shows. He's dealing and wheeling. He's talking to people, meeting people. He's hustling. This guy's hustling, and I love the show. I love what he shares with everybody. So big fan of what Sasha T's doing. So check out Sasha T. Next up, Minor League Monday. Rydog, love his Minor League Mondays because I think it's a great opportunity to hear about some prospects, what's coming out in baseball. Keep your eye. If you're into Bowman, you really will love this channel. So really enjoyed this. He mentioned Jeremiah Jackson this time. So again, check out the channel. He breaks down stats, gives you information, insight. It's not a hype channel. This is just good content. Next up, how to pick which player to collect. Great video here and some great points. Cardi C makes some comments about, if you're going to start collecting somebody, you can gamble and collect because you're trying to flip. But if you're collecting because you want a PC or go after somebody, there's some fundamentals you should take in consideration. And one of which is just what that person's doing in their life, like outside the lives. Are they giving back or are they just taking everything? So really love that insight. I also made a comment. He made a comment that he'd love to give a shout out to rising sports card channels. So I gave a little short list here of some of the channels that I'm following that I thought he might be able to shout out. If you haven't already, hit over to his channel. Drop your name down there and ask Cardi C for a shout out. Great guy. He's got 800 subscribers and he's there helping other people, smaller subscribers, build their followers and really sharing, which I think is again one of the best things about the hobby. So shout out Cardi C. Mad respect for doing that. And then found these sports cards in my box. So really enjoyed this video from Red Cape Sports. He basically, again, here's a comment. As he opens up cards, he keeps all his cards, right? He sleeves rookies, he holds them out, and then later on, he pulls these cards out and he sees some value in these cards. Let's give you a couple of examples here, right? Of some of the cards that have gone up, whether it's from, pennies to dollars, but these are cards that before he might have had just in the sleeve that based on their performance or their playoffs or whatever it was, got them the attention that now there's little value in those cards, and he's going to go ahead and make the investment in grading, I believe. So really enjoyed that because, again, it's kind of a hidden gems. It reminds me when my sons were looking through some binders in the spring, and we actually found a LeBron James Prism 2012 card that just was one of the old binders we just didn't think much about. But really excited because I can totally relate to what's being shown here. Last thing I want to mention that I didn't mention previously is there is a sports trading Cards Enthusiasts of America group on LinkedIn. It's the first and only group I've seen on sports cards here. I do recommend checking it out if you're on LinkedIn. They're still growing the group, 313 members, but I think it's awesome. I'm getting involved. I'm going to try to bring some of my friends over to LinkedIn. And I do think LinkedIn's a different media, right? This isn't, don't be hyping your top 5 here. I think it's more about, the basics, helping people, education, networking is a key thing. But I do recommend, if you're on LinkedIn, check them out. Give me your thoughts, comments, and so forth. That is all I've got for today, guys. Again, I hope you're having a wonderful November 3rd. Nothing special going on today, so enjoy yourselves. I'm just kidding. I know there's a lot going on today, but look, use the hobby as an escape. Remember, we are all human beings first. And those of us that are voting or choosing not to vote today in the United States, we are Americans second. So let's keep that in mind. Let's treat each other with some love and some respect and some kindness. Pretend like everybody's in the hobby. Do whatever you need to get through the day, guys. Have a wonderful day. Be safe, be healthy, and be kind to each other out there. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow.